sad? I've earned more money from the 2 Sooubway videos I made about working at Sooubway than I did actually working at Sooubway for over a year. So here we go, Sooubway part 3, baby. I still got more to say. I used to work there, in case you didn't know that. When I moved out and was all on my own for college, I was feeling a little lonely and homesick. So one day I decided, hey, I'm gonna get some Sooubway for lunch. Food that I used to almost eat every day and got for free for over a year, I was gonna pay full price for. I just wanted a taste of home. I wasn't expecting to ever tell this story, but it turns out the employee making my sandwich was a huge idiot. As I was waiting in line, I noticed my favorite sandwich, the Turkey Italiano, wasn't on the menu. The Turkey Italiano, by the way, is the same as the Italian BMT, but instead of ham, you put on turkey. Very simple change. I asked the worker, did you guys have the Turkey Italiano? And he said, no. And I asked, can I get a BMT, but instead of ham, I have turkey? And you know what he said to me? He said, no. I don't think I'm asking for too much. At my Sooubway, the BMT and the Turkey Italiano were the same price, okay? And what do you mean, no, you can't put on turkey? Who's stopping you? I know for a fact that you don't count the slices of turkey at the end of the night.
It's an easy change.
Me up, please. I'm feeling sad. So I just got the BMT with all the vegetables because it's more food for the same amount of money and I was a poor college student. And also because screw that guy. Have fun trying to close that sandwich. But then when he was all done, he put my sandwich by the cash register and then he just started helping the next customer. And they hadn't even started making their sandwich. Just ring me up so I can leave and then help the next person. But no, I had to wait for him to finish this person's sandwich. If I wasn't so nice, I would have just took the sandwich and walked off. But I didn't, because I'm so nice. I realized telling you that story, it sounds like I'm one of those customers who complain about everything and say, let me talk to your manager. But really, the whole time I just stood there awkwardly. I think I can complain a little bit. I used to work at a Sooubway. I know how things are supposed to work.
Why does that get me
if
every
you're
time?
Watching this, you need to hire more people. Like me. Speaking of me, when I was working at Sooubway, I never liked wearing my name tag because when I was making people's sandwiches, I hated it when complete strangers would say, thanks, James. How did you know? Oh, right, the name tag. So I never wore my name tag. I just work at Sooubway, okay? We don't need to know each other on a first name basis. No. Just take your food. For some reason, I don't like it when strangers know my name. But now that's all. This one time a customer came in and for some reason I couldn't help but feel like I'd seen her somewhere before. Her face was so familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I made her sandwich and rang her up, she paid for it, and as she grabbed her stuff she said, yeah, I'm going up to my father's funeral this weekend. After my mother died, he couldn't last that long.
Jeez.
Oh, that's why I remember her. She came in last week telling me the same story. What are you supposed to say to that? Yeah, that really sucks. I'm just some underpaid sandwich artist with really bad people skills. Does she really not have anyone else to talk to? That just makes it extra sad. I ended up giving her a free cookie. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. Luckily, my coworker Corey heard this and he talked to her and he was very nice. Corey's a lot better at being nice to people. One time I was closing the store, I turned off the open sign and I was opening the front door to bring in a table and chair from outside. But while I was bringing in the table, these 2 old guys got out of their car and asked, are you guys closed? Is what I would have said if I wasn't so nice. Instead I said, fine. Even though it was past 10, I let them order their sandwiches. When they came in, the 16-year-old girl I was working with was not happy. They started apologizing for coming in so late. Oh, I didn't realize places in Arizona close so early. Blah, blah, blah. We're vampires. And I said, it's whatever, just order your sandwiches.
Right,
and then
no
he
small
said,
talk.
Can I have 3 salads? And I actually laughed. He didn't laugh. Oh, you're being serious. I let you in past closing and you want 3 salads? Do you know how many dirty dishes that'll make? As I was making this guy's 3 salads and 16-year-old girl was making the other guy's 2 foot-long sandwiches, a third guy not associated with these 2 came in. Guess he didn't see the open sign not illuminated. I finished helping the 2 old guys and then I started helping the third guy and he asked, what time do you guys close? 15 minutes ago. But after everything was said and done, the 2 old guys tipped us $5 and the third guy tipped us $1. So I mean, between me and the 16-year-old girl, a $3 tip ain't so bad. I actually heard from one of my old coworkers that the husband and wife owners of my old Sooubway watched my 2 other Sooubway videos. So they might be watching this one, and I just wanted to say that by letting those 3 guys in, I showed initiative and was looking out for customer satisfaction. Yeah. One time I brought a laser
on my
pointer
resume.
to work because I knew I'd be bored, and I was. Except the boy I was working with was shining it outside at the cars driving by, and I told him not to do that because it's probably stupid, illegal, and really dangerous. Later, I was going to go clean the bathrooms. I saw the laser pointer on the counter, and I said, hey, dude, while I'm cleaning the bathrooms, don't shine the laser pointer at the
do
cars.
it.
I told him that. When I was all finished cleaning, though, I saw him sitting by the window just shining the laser at the cars. At first, I wanted to go up to him and say, dude, stop. But then the other part of me thought, I'm not this kid's dad. I told him to stop twice, and he didn't listen. Whatever happens is his problem. He ended up getting fired. Yeah, a lady came in and said, let me talk to your manager. And I said, I can give you her phone number. And boom, he got fired. I know I'm the one who brought in the laser pointer, but I don't really blame myself for him losing his job. That was a stupid thing for you to do, kid. Once again, I was the good employee.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't show that much initiative that time, though. So before I worked at Sooubway, I like to go to this taco place and get the same thing every time, the carne asada fries. Later, I learned that the carne asada fries are 2,000 calories.
Good.
That was the only thing I ever got at this taco place. And I used to be super self-conscious, thinking, man, these employees must think I'm so weird coming in getting the same thing over and over. But then when I worked at Sooubway, I learned, nope, fast food employees don't care about you or your order. If you go into them or tell them that you're going to your dad's funeral, fast food employees will not remember you. One time someone came in and told me, I'll have the usual. And I said, I've literally never seen that in my entire life. I didn't really say that. If you were working at a really slow Sooubway, here are some fun games for you to play.
It wouldn't be a
Cut
lie.
up a loaf of bread into small pieces and make a mini sandwich with 1 meat and 3 different vegetables. Give it to your coworker and have them eat it without looking. Then they have to guess what's on the sandwich. And that's it. You can set up a point system, like they get 1 point for every ingredient they get right. Also, you can do the same game by mixing up 2 sodas and have them guess. You can walk into the freezer and see how long you can last. My record's an hour. You can bring in some vanilla ice cream and just make all sorts of stuff with that. You can make root beer floats. You could take 2 cookies and put ice cream between them and make a cookie ice cream sandwich. 16-year-old girl made this thing. I think it was called a kazuki. You put cookie dough in a bowl and then you cooked it, but not all the way, and then you put ice cream on top of it, and it was super good. You can make nachos and bread bowls, and we wasted a lot of food. I still don't know why that guy didn't give me a turkey Italiano. I mean, at my Sooubway, we made
This
bread
all
bowls
started
and
from
nachos.
that.
Okay, all right, here's my favorite Sooubway sandwich besides pastrami. The pastrami's good, but it's expensive. So the next best thing, aka what I usually get, is the turkey Italiano on wheat bread and provolone cheese. And whenever I made mine, I would put on extra meat and extra cheese. So I guess if you want to recreate my sandwich, you have to get double meat and double cheese.
Does no one like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sandwich? That's my favorite.
You should put on the sub. Toast it, obviously, and then you put all the vegetables on it besides banana peppers and jalapenos and only a little bit of pickles. So actually, I did ask the first guy to put on all the vegetables, not out of revenge, but because I actually like all the vegetables on my sub. Then a little bit of mayo. They normally put on so much mayo, just ask for 1 stripe. And then the same amount of mustard,
really going in
and
depth
oil, vinegar,
on this
salt, and
sandwich.
pepper, and then wrap that puppy up. And it was going to insult a sandwich that Sooubway has, but if Sooubway is ever going to hire me as their new spokesperson because they need one, I can't be insulting one of their sandwiches in a video. It was the meatball. The meatball's a horrible sandwich. Okay, there are good meatball marinara sandwiches out there. It's just the ones at Sooubway are dumb. I do want to say something.
Yeah, no.
Sooubway will always hold a special place in my empty heart, not because I have fond memories working there, but because some of you really liked it when I talked about working there. And I made buckets with those videos compared to what I was making at Sooubway, which was nice. Apparently I was #relatable enough to connect with millions of people, and it took my channel to where it is today. And then less than 2 weeks later, I made a part 2 to that video, and I struck an even bigger chord with people. Who likes the sequel better than the original? People think that I use the word Sooubway in my videos so I wouldn't get sued. This is not true. I wasn't successful enough to get sued. They had other problems to deal with at the time.
Oh God,
I called it Sooubway for a joke. In my first video, I said, I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway. I was making you think that I worked at an unknown place, and then I subverted your expectations by saying I worked at Sooubway. But now at this point in my career, I am calling my previous place of employment Sooubway because I don't want to get sued. The most requests I get for a video is Sooubway Part 4, but I never really considered making another one because I don't work there anymore.
Destroy my
I have no new stories to talk about the place. But something happened recently, and I do want to talk about it. You see, the Sooubway I used to work at closed down.
Oh no.
And I am so deeply upset at this news that the only way for me to cope is to make one last video about it. So this story happened a couple of years after I quit working at Sooubway. I was behind on a video, so that meant I was in a mentally damaging mindset called crunch mode, and I had been working all day, and I started getting hungry, and I still hadn't taken Floof on a walk, so I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and eat Floof.
Oh God.
Just kidding. I decided to take Floof on a walk to my local Sooubway. And before I entered the store, I picked up Floof and held her in my arms, because I'm not a psychopath. I know taking your dog into a restaurant is tacky and a health code violation, but this is a Sooubway we're talking about. You know how laid back it is here. There are no rules or health codes. One time when I was working at my Sooubway, this 10-year-old kid came in wearing a swimsuit and literally nothing else. And he was unsupervised. He didn't want a sandwich, all he wanted was a cookie, but this kid wasn't wearing shoes or a shirt. The two things you need to get service at a restaurant. So did I tell this shirtless delinquent to get lost? No, he had money, so I did business with him. I don't discriminate against shirtless people. Look, his mom was probably at the grocery store next door, and he just got done with swimming lessons, and he said something like, "Mother, I would be most grateful if you let me consume a pastry with high levels of sugar and simple carbohydrates." And his mom probably said, "Yeah, whatever, nerd." Nerd. So the point of this story is to let you know that I was the kind of employee who, as long as you were willing to pay for your food, didn't care what you were wearing or what health code you were violating.
Gross.
This is a gosh darn Sooubway. I walk in with Floof, and it's completely empty, by the way. Seems like I'm the only one in this town that even likes Sooubway. And the worker, aka the only other person in the store, said, "Is that a service animal?" Floof's not a service animal. Unless the service you want is someone to chew up all your stuff and bark at everyone. But she still emotionally supports me. When I tell her, I'm gonna die alone, she tries to make me feel better by licking the inside of my nose. But I didn't want to lie to this guy about Floof's emotional support status, because if I said yes and he said prove it, I would be in trouble. So like the emotionally stable enough to not need a dog person that I am, I said, no. He said, "She can't be in here. If the health inspector came in, they would fire me on the spot." Which, like, geez, dude, you're gonna let the health inspector treat you like that? Stand up for yourself once in a while. So I said, "Okay, I'll leave." Yeah, there are other restaurants in walking distance, Sooubway guy. The ramen place lets me order with Floof in my arms all the time. I know this because I've already been there twice this week, and the only reason I'm even getting Sooubway is because I don't want the ramen employees thinking that I'm a weird guy who brings my non-emotional support dog everywhere. You missed out, Sooubway. Do you know who I am? I used to work here. And then the guy called my bluff. He said, "Wait, we can make it fast." As fast as Jimmy John's? This kid's standing up for himself. I'm proud of him. I knew exactly what to tell him. I want a foot-long ham sandwich on Italian bread with American cheese. I know that's the hardest cheese to pull apart with blood on, but whatever. He sped run putting on the meat and cheese, and then he asked me what kind of vegetables. And in my mind, I went, "Hold on. You didn't ask me if I wanted it toasted. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get this sandwich finished as quickly as possible, so you're not even going to ask me if I want it toasted and hope I forgot." Well, it's okay, because I didn't want it toasted, but I'm onto you. And then Floof jumped over the counter, peed on the arm, and bit the guy in the jugular.
Yeah, right.
And then licked the inside of his nose. Some people take their job way too seriously. Well, at least some Sooubway workers are more laid back like me. Like this one time not too long ago, I went back to the Sooubway I used to work at, and I didn't recognize any of the people there. But someone did get recognized in that store. Me. One of the workers said, "Are you the guy that made the cartoon about working here?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I decided to make his job interesting by telling him, "Hey, kid, this is the place." What? This is where it all happened, kid. These floors are the very same floors that I used to mop. You missed a spot over there. And this kid lost all 6 of his olives. Okay, I don't use my fame to get into places I'm not supposed to.
Oh, God.
Usually. But this kid was so excited, and I used to work here, so I asked him, "Can I go in the back?" Which is probably breaking a bajillion health code violations, but this kid didn't care. He let me in. It had been 3 years since I had been back there, and literally nothing had changed. I don't know if any of you have ever moved out of your parents' house, and then 3 years later you went back to visit inside your childhood bedroom.
Why the beard?
It was that sort of feeling. The chip boxes were still in the same place. Inside the freezer, all the food was pretty much where I left it.
Oh my God.
And the bulletin board had all the same papers. One of the papers was a list of all the employees with their names and phone numbers, and that list was so old that it still had all of my old coworkers' names and numbers, and it even had my own name and number still on the sheet. It had been crossed out, but I still went, "Ah!" and I punched it out with a pencil. Maybe that's how my phone number got leaked. And then I thought, I wonder if the other number is still here. In the very back of the room, there was this desk, and I got down on the gross, unmopped floor, and I scooted underneath the desk, and Oh my gosh, it's still here. When I used to work there, one of my coworkers found this store's Wi-Fi password and wrote it down on the bottom side of the desk so then everyone could watch Netflix instead of work. And the employee had no idea it was there, and he typed it into his phone, and it still worked.
Wow.
All right, don't tell people that I told you this, I said. We can't let anyone know this secret. But then the place closed down, so now no one can get in trouble. Anyways, I'm gonna miss that place.
That's it.
It was gross, and I didn't love working there, but in the end, it was the most memorable job I had as a teenager, as it was the only other job that I had. It formed a good work ethic, I made new friends, and I even got to eat free food sometimes. But now I might get sued for this video, so we'll see what happens. So now, every time I walk into Sooubway with my non-service animal, a little part of me will be sad that my old Sooubway is in ruins. Okay, maybe it's not in ruins, but they'll probably turn it into a nail salon or something. Nothing lasts forever, so it's time to give Sooubway a proper burial.
There we go. Well, we finished it. I like how he finished these out. I mean, obviously it's sad that his Sooubway closed, but you know, they just pop up everywhere anyway. I mean, they're not as prevalent as they used to be, at least to me. But I don't really go much. I used to work at a Subway. It's like I used to work at T-Mobile next to a Subway. And so I had Subway like every day I worked, mostly the peanut butter cookies, because they have, or at least had, the best peanut butter cookies for a long time. This was over 10, 12, no, hold on. Oh my God. This was like 15 years ago, I think. A long time ago. T-Mobile was cool. It was fun. It was very busy in Detroit. But the Subway, very busy because of me. Because of the cookies. They're delicious. But does no one else like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sandwich? That was my favorite sandwich. I would get double meat in some cases, and extra cheese, and banana peppers always. And then just the sweet onion sauce. It's the best one to me. It's the best sandwich. But again, I haven't gone much at all for many years. I won't say many years. I went 2 years ago for lunch because I didn't have a ride and these guys were going and I went with them. And it was just okay. But I still got the same sandwich that I love. Pretty much it. What's your favorite sandwich from Subway, if you still go? I think Quiznos is one of the best. Jimmy John's is cool. But Jersey Mike's is also really, really good. So what's your favorite of those when it comes to sandwich spots? It's hard for me to go places like that now because I can just make that at home. And my wife makes a bomb sub. So for me, it's like, what's the point? Why am I wasting the money? I'll just get the ingredients. And either I'll make it or most likely I'll have my wife make it. That's mostly what's going to happen. But I'm glad that we finally finished it. This was funny. I'm glad that we finished this series. And we'll watch some more of The Odd Ones Out and see what else is in store. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Check out the end screen though if you want to check out more videos with me so we can watch together and laugh together. Again, you guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.